that I want to draw like a box from different angles around the point on the horizon line. So I'm just using like a business card, about the size of a business card, and a 4B pencil. So the 4B pencil is darker than your regular number 2 pencil. And I'm going to take it from these 3 corners, the closest to the horizon, the point on the horizon line, and I'm going to draw some close together dashed lines from those corners to the point on the horizon line. Okay, not drawing them very dark because I'm going to erase them later, part of them later. So from each corner, just a dashed line. Okay, so it looks like that. So to make it look like a box that is realistic, three-dimensional in space, I'm going to line up the ruler with the bottom of the box, or the rectangle, and I'm going to lower it parallel. I'm going to lower it a little ways down, about an inch down or so, and then draw what's going to be the bottom of the box. Okay. And then same thing, moving the ruler over parallel, matching it up to that corner that is right on the dashed line right here, and finishing up the right edge. So now that I've established that, and I straighten that out a little bit, okay, I'm going to go ahead and erase those beginning dashed lines going to the point on the horizon. And I'm just using a white plastic eraser. It's on the end of a regular pencil. I'm sorry, it's a 4B pencil. So it gets really dark when you press hard on it. Obviously, if you want lighter lines with the same pencil, then you would just put less pressure on it. So I'll go ahead and fill in the dashed line here, make it a solid line. And on the top, also make it a solid line. Okay. So don't be afraid to use your eraser. I'm always using my eraser to clean up, to refine things, to bring back highlights. So that's the box in the upper left-hand region. So what if you have a box that is in the lower, right below the vanishing point? And again, I'm going to just draw the outline of this template, or this like business card size rectangle. Now this is a lot easier because you're only going to see the top of the box. You're not going to see sides, just the top part of it. And so again, you do like your dashed lines going to the corners that are closest to the point on the horizon. And like that. So, and again, to create the upper edge, I'm just going to line up my ruler, and I'm going to draw a line that's parallel on the top side here. Then I'm going to go back and erase those guidelines. So with 4B pencil, it is not easy to erase after you've drawn it dark. Different than a HB or a number 2 pencil. So HB and 2 are the same pretty much. 2B is darker, 4B is darker, 6B is even darker. They even make a 8B, which is almost like charcoal. Yeah. So that's from below. What if I have one way on the right side, way up here in the corner, and say it's a much longer box, like much closer to the horizon, the point on the horizon. So you're going to get a sense of, okay, what it's like to draw a train that has a very long, a long train, like vanishing to a point. Go ahead and line it up to the point on the horizon. And make some dashed lines. From each corner. All right, so this is going to be a really long box. I'm going to bring it really fairly close to the point on the horizon. I'm going to lower the ruler parallel all the way down to about there. Okay. And then bringing the side over parallel to the edge right there. And go ahead and erase the dashed lines to the point on the horizon. And like we did with the other ones, fill in the dashed line, create the edge of the box. All right, so we have those three boxes that are established. Now, okay, so you're able to draw it, 1-point perspective, but then also you need to think about, well, how do I shade it in? So first you need to decide, okay, where's the light source coming from? And in this case, I'm going to have the light source coming in from the left, from this side. Okay, so the sun is shining down this way. And, oh, excuse my phone that's bouncing around. So the lightest side, in this case, is going to be this side. Just label it 1. Darker side 2, and darkest side 3. Over here, the lightest side 1, 2, and then the underside darker 3. And on this one, you only see the top and the front side. So the lightest side 1 and a little darker 2. So there are some different things to know about shading in. For a very even shade, I tend to, like from a writing holding position, holding it underhand and going one direction. And usually it's like a 45. I usually choose like a 45-degree direction. It just seems to be a nice angle to hold the pencil at. And then I'm shading it in. I'm not going to do all the boxes, but I will do the one here on the left just so you get a sense of some techniques that you can do. And I'm not terribly worried about staying within the lines right now. I always have the ability to quickly come back with the eraser and clean up the edges. But I've established a fairly even tone. And then there is such a thing as a stump. In this case, the stump already has carbon on it. And so I'm going to go ahead and come back with the stump. And I'm going to blend in with the stump that whole area. Not worrying right now about edges, being perfectly shaded in. Because like I said, it's very easy to come back and clean up real well with an eraser. And I'll show you that in a second. So you come back with your eraser and just along the edge clean it up, and then along this edge clean up, and then along the left edge clean up. Okay, so I pretty much established the shade that I want. I'm not really worried about cleaning up right here because I'm going to be shading that in. So 2 is the next darkest, and notice I have it in like normal writing position as far as holding the pencil. And I'm just gonna really punch the edge. I call it punch, make it dark, the edge right there. And then what I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and erase the 2. What I want to do is as I get further away, I'm going to lighten it up. So, and then I'll switch to underhand. So punch the edge. Okay, that's about where I want it. And then I'm going to clean up the edge. And then I'm going to hit it with the